Jack Ryan, Portland, Oregon's mayor, and an assault on Atlanta are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is August 31st, 2022. It is the 243rd day of the year. We got 122 days left. It is the 35th Wednesday in the 36th week and the 72nd day of summer. You got 22 days left. Today is National South Carolina Day. On August 31st, National South Carolina Day recognizes the Palmetto State and her unique landscapes, bold personality, and long history. Catawba and Cherokee people were some of the first to greet the Spanish and French explorers in the 16th century. Back then, they had villages that dotted all through what is present-day South Carolina and even up into Virginia and West Virginia. North Carolina. The English established the first successful settlement near present-day Charleston. They originally called it Carolina. The colony later split into North and South Carolina in 1710. Following in the footsteps of previous colonies, South Carolina would become the 8th state to ratify the Constitution. South Carolina played its part in both the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. It was also a favorite spot for pirates like Blackbeard. These days, South Carolina is known for its hospitality and its great barbecue. All right, let's see what else August 31st has given us. 1864, during the American Civil War, Union forces led by General T. Sherman launch an assault on Atlanta. Sometime later, he decides to set fire to the entire city. Now, there's different theories to this, but they were supposedly just burning one building and it got out of control. That's one story, but most people just believe that him and his forces decided to burn the entire city. 1886, the 7.0 magnitude Charleston earthquake affects southeastern South Carolina, killing 60 people and doing around $6 million in damages. 1935, in an attempt to stay out of the growing tensions concerning Germany and Japan, the United States passes the first of its neutrality acts. 1940, Pennsylvania Central Airlines Trip 19 crashes near Lovettsville, Virginia. The investigation of the accident is the first investigation to be conducted under the Bureau of Air Commerce Act of 1938. Okay, before we get to the next one, I want to tell you something. Never fly on August 31st. So that was the first air disaster on August 31st in the history of August 31sts. Since that 1940 accident, there has been 7 air disasters on August 31st. All over the world, not just in the United States, all over the world. But that's an awful lot for one day of the year. All right, moving on. 1993, Russia completes removing its troops from Lithuania. 1994, Russia completes removing its troops from Estonia. 1997, Diana, Princess of Wales, her companion Dodi Fayed, and driver Henry Paul die in a car crash in Paris. Now, this should have been the deep dive, but we did it a couple years ago, so I'm just going to mention it here because it's worth mentioning. And if I didn't, a lot of people would bring it up. But it was truly a sad day. I think I told this the last time we did it. My brother and his wife had just bought their house in August of 1997 and had their housewarming party the same day Princess Diana died. The whole party just sat there and stared at the TV. I felt bad for my sister-in-law. 2006, Edvard Munch's famous painting, The Scream, is stolen on August 22nd, 2004, but recovered in a raid on August 31st, 2006. So this is the thing with that painting. That wasn't the first time someone tried to steal it. The Scream has been the target of a number of thefts and attempted thefts. Some damage has been suffered during those. In 1994, the same day the Winter Olympics started in Lillehammer, Norway, 2 men broke into the National Gallery in Oslo and stole its version of The Scream, leaving a note reading, "Thanks for the poor security." The painting had been moved down to a second-story gallery as part of the Olympic festivities. After the gallery refused to pay the ransom of $1 million in March of 1994, Norwegian police set up a sting operation with the help of the British police and the Getty Museum. The painting was recovered in May of 1994. There was at least 7 other attempted thefts of this painting. I don't know what the deal is with it. So on August 22nd, 2004, 2 men break into the Munch Museum in Oslo in broad daylight, masks on, take The Scream and Munch's Madonna, and just take off. Now here's the thing. Someone took a picture of them in their getaway car. On April 8th, 2005, the Norwegian police arrested 2 men in connection with the theft, but the paintings remained missing. Rumors floated around that they got worried and they burnt these things and just destroyed the evidence. On June 1st, 2005, 2 more men in connection with this were also arrested, but they gave information that made the police think that it wasn't destroyed, that these 2 paintings were still out there. And on August 31st, 2006, Norwegian police announced that the police operation had recovered the Scream and the Madonna, but didn't reveal the details or the circumstances of the recovery. The paintings were said to be in better than expected condition. Premiered on August 31st, 2018, Jack Ryan. This is a pretty good show. It's on Amazon Prime. It follows Tom Clancy's CIA analyst Jack Ryan from all his books. In the series, John Krasinski from The Office, he plays Jack Ryan, and he does a pretty good job. I only watched the first season. My wife watched all of them. She loved it. I gotta watch the second season. But Harrison Ford wasn't the only person to play Jack Ryan. Alec Baldwin did, Ben Affleck, and Chris Pine. Born on August 31st, 1962, Ted Wheeler, politician who is best recognized as the mayor of Portland, Oregon. He was elected in 2016 after serving 6 years as the Oregon State Treasurer. He's been under fire for quite some time. Things in Portland aren't going well, and a lot of it's resting on his shoulders, sadly. I think it doesn't just have to do with him, but that's just my opinion. He attended Stanford University, Columbia University, and Harvard University. He was a Republican before turning into a Democrat. He considers himself a moderate Democrat. He was born and raised in Portland. His father, Sam, was the vice president for a lumber company in the area. He has a daughter with his ex-wife. Died on August 31st, 1969, Rocky Marciano, heavyweight boxing champion who compiled a career record of 49-0. He was known as the Brockton Blockbuster and successfully defended his title 6 times. He suffered from pneumonia when he was 18 months old and nearly died from it. His first professional fight was in 1947. His name and boxing style inspired the film series Rocky, which starred Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa. He worked in television after retiring in 1955. I've watched old boxing reels of him, and it's like a zombie. He just kept coming. No matter what they hit him with, he just kept coming. He defeated Joe Louis on October 26, 1951. That was the last fight of Joe Louis's career. Rocky Marciano died on August 31st, 1969, the day before his 46th birthday. He was the passenger in a small private plane, a Cessna 172, headed for Des Moines, Iowa. Alright, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.